right, very warm welcome to the show. My name is Puleng Mulebati, and once again I am here to report on positive and uplifting news. The young man on the show today wants society to start seeing him as more than just a man dressed in female clothing. In our chat with him, he stresses that he is a talented singer who uses his career as a drag artist to challenge perception about the sexuality and gender issues. Today, we bring you the story of a South African actor and singer, Thiart. Let's have a look.
With me, we made love, for better or for worse.
I am 27 years old and I am a South African actor, singer, MC and drag artist. I saw a gap in the market where I could create a character and, have a more social impact on other people's lives, raising a question and raising issues that we are generally uncomfortable with, so that we can have it up in people's faces and be like, look at this, the world is changing, this is what's out there. So my cross-dressed character's name is Sinead O'Brien.
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away.
She's a singer and she's an actress. But what sets me apart from other drag queens is I sing live.
Take my heart, make it strong again. You're simply the best, better than all the rest.
The general stigma around drag queens is that they lip sync to, diva songs and that type of thing. Now, I sing diva songs, but with my own voice.
Thiart made headlines when he became the first drag artist to compete in the singing competition Idols as Sinead O'Brien, a glamorous vocal powerhouse. Sinead changed the scene of local music reality shows with her bold fashion statement and unconventional style of performance when she competed on the top 16 female category.
When I entered as Sinead, and obviously I didn't in my wildest dreams ever think that I would go that far in the competition. But I think when we got to top 16, I think it was a meeting between the producers and the director and everybody within the Idols team who decided where Sinead was going to be categorized, be it male or female. It was never made a huge, issue among the contestants. We just kind of went with the flow of it. Obviously, Sinead is a female character, so I automatically assumed that she would be put with the females.
Being one of a kind on the music scene came with a lot of criticism from the public.
So I think when it comes to, especially with the whole thing that happened with Idols as well, there was a lot of criticism because he was paired with the girls group as well. So then people would say, oh, but she's not a girl, all those type of things. And it became frustrating.
It takes a lot of guts, just if we look at his past, to enter a popular singing competition like Idols as a persona, as a female impersonator. In terms of one's profession, it takes a lot of courage, and personally, it takes a lot of courage, because there are people who would embrace it, but there are those who will be scared of the concept of a male in female dress and in a female persona performing.
2 years since South Africa caught onto the superstardom of Sinead O'Brien, and the singing sensation is still holding down a reputable career as an entertainer. The man behind this phenomenon has a mission to change the entertainment landscape by being his authentic self.
Being a drag artist is seen as, for me, as a legit profession. I mean, it hasn't really taken off in South Africa or in Africa in general that much. But if you look abroad, you know, to like, for instance, the American culture, it's actually become a cult in America where, I mean, they have various television shows, you know, revolving around the artistry of drag. For instance, RuPaul's Drag Race is one of the biggest. And if you look at those drag artists, you know, I mean, like, they performing at nightclubs every night, you know, they attending all the major pride festivals, not just in America, but all around the world. You know, they are making a living out of that. Here in South Africa, we do have, you know, there is a drag culture, but it's not on the same level as America yet. So I probably can dress up at home as Shanae and, you know, walk around and go to spa and go to the garage, but there's no point in that for me. It's just, I don't know why I would do that. For me, the thing is, when I dress as Shanae, it's to put up a performance. It's purely to entertain people. It's to give a message, to inspire other people, you know, to get my message across, to, you know, to help other people that may be struggling with their own sexuality and their own comfortability in their own skin.
Thiart wasn't always confident and fully embracing of his sexuality.
I was extremely bullied when I was still in school. I still get bullied now, but it's for different reasons. Being in school, I always saw myself as kind of being the best me that I could be at that specific point in time. Obviously, at that time, I wasn't aware that there's different levels of being gay, you know, being butch or being straight, acting or being feminine, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. I was apparently a very flamboyant child when I was younger. But I tried to contain that as much as I could in school, because I knew from a very young age that I was different, and I knew that kids wouldn't necessarily understand what is happening in this specific situation. So I was extremely teased for being, you know, the correct term here would be a morphe. So, but again, like I said, I can't blame them for their words. I can't blame them for their actions, because people fear what they don't understand.
It wasn't until his time in tertiary that he came to understand who he really is.
I've always known that I was different. Since a very young age, I've always tended to socialize with females more, but I've never had a physical attraction to females. And it was only in my second year at university that I came out to my parents and friends and said, well, this is how it is. It was quite a spontaneous decision. I was studying, I was in my second year, and we were doing a show in Pretoria where I was now one of the, I want to say, like the Fab 5 drag queens at Legends nightclub, which has closed in the meantime. But things were just going a bit hectic on social media. That was the time when Facebook really picked up, and, you know, Twitter was just being introduced. So it was inevitable for my parents to find out about the lifestyle that I was living in Pretoria. And by lifestyle, I mean, I was finally accepting who I am. I was living as a gay man in Pretoria. And it was quite spontaneous, but it was quite difficult at the same time, because the receptionist at the drama department told me that I should be very careful, because she's seen so many kids who come out to their parents and their parents are just, cool, we don't condone this behavior, you know, we don't accept this, so we're not going to pay for your studies anymore, we just, you know, we don't want anything to do with you. So obviously that struck a bit of fear within me, but I chose to tell my parents via email through my aunt, who works for a psychologist. So I explained everything to her in the emails, and then she gave the emails to my parents. But they were really open-minded.
And just as his family was coming to terms with his disclosure about being gay, he also revealed that he was a drag artist.
Obviously, they knew exactly what the gay part entailed and everything, but I chose to tell them that I'm gay and a drag queen at the same time. So my mother was very confused. She didn't understand why I wanted to dress up as a woman, which is understandable. So I had to explain to her that it might probably just be a phase in my life. You know, this is something new that I've discovered and I just want to explore it. But also, it's getting comfortable in your own skin, you know. I had to explain to her and say that it's like exactly like Pieter Dirk Uys, who created Evita Besaidnout. It's like, I'm not changing as a person. Yes, I'm getting more comfortable in my own skin and I'm, you know, becoming the real me, but I'm not becoming a different person. This is just a facet. This is just an extension of my life. I am 100% confident and happy in being a male. I love being a man, you know, but it's amazing for me to get both sides of the spectrum, you know, to step into someone else's shoes, literally, and to see what women go through, you know, the effort it takes to look presentable, you know, to put on your makeup in the morning and, you know, just to get by on a daily basis. But I do have an advantage to choose when I want to do that and when I don't want to do that. For me, I literally become Shanae when I need to do a show or attend an event or do a motivational speaking. But for me, again, it's a character. I don't see the need to walk around in the house or go to spa dressed as that, because there's no point in that. Because I feel every time that I dress or that I make a public appearance, there needs to be a message behind it. There needs to be a reason why I'm there as Shanae and not Thiart.
Wearing women's clothing isn't only a way to disrupt traditional gender norms. It's a subversive act that, while celebrated in popular culture, isn't always pleasant in real life. Thiart shares the challenges he faces as Shanae O'Brien.
Looks like joy came early this July. Buy 4 red codes to share. Enter your codes and get 10 Rand airtime guaranteed with up to 100,000 Rand airtime every day for the month of July. Celebrate crisper joy with Red this July.
Welcome back to the show with me, Bophelong as we put a spotlight on Thiart Lee, a drag artist and an activist for the rights of the lesbian, gay, bisexual and intersex people. We highlight the difficulties that he faces while pursuing a career as Shanae O'Brien. Here is more on this next insert. Thiart Lee is South Africa's rising music star. While many know his alter ego Shanae O'Brien, there is still much unsaid about the drag artistry in South Africa. Thiart is determined to influence society to embrace this unique side of arts and entertainment.
Maybe Shanae wants to do some. I know she likes color.
For a long time, Shanae has been a shield to me as Thiart. Where I saw that if someone criticized me while I'm in drag, it doesn't affect me because it's not me, which is now not the case because I've come to terms with it that she's a character and she can't be anything without me. Obviously it hurts when people say, you know, make a remark or say something nasty or, you know, something inappropriate or try to put their hand up your skirt when you're at a bar or something, you know, after a show and stuff. But again, it's their way of dealing with their uncomfortability. You know, they don't know how to approach the situation. They know it's a man in a dress, but they don't know how to go about the situation and be, okay, but how do I initiate a conversation? You know, do I approach it this way? So they find ways, which isn't necessarily appropriate, but they find ways to get your attention. And it's your choice as an artist or as a person to validate them as a person, you know, to validate their remarks or to give them the power to humiliate you or let their comments affect you.
If Thiart has issues, he works through those issues as Shanae, if it makes any sense. Because Shanae is quite light and she's fluffy, it's easier to use that personality and use that character to work through issues and to enjoy it. But no, Thiart will always be Thiart.
Despite these challenges, Thiart has managed to build a reputable brand as a drag artist.
Since my study years, it was still kind of a hobby kind of thing, and where Shanae actually started working and being an artist, if you want to put it in that sense of the word, was in 2013 when she did a show in Boksburg called Fellies and Feathers, which was supposed to be a one-night only thing, you know, because I did take Shanae away for a while because it was starting to overshadow me as a performer. And then I said, cool, I'll bring Shanae out for one night only, we can do the show. And then there was just such a huge response and embrace and positive, you know, acceptance of this character in Boksburg. And the show was extended for 3 more shows. And ever since then, that night I realized that, you know, what I'm doing here is literally a drop in the ocean. There's so much more out there. And, you know, being different is, in essence, what people really want in this industry. You need to be able to stand out. You need to make your mark. You need to be, here I am, this is me, take note. I won't say Shanae was like the proper breadwinner before Idols, but she did do some work. I mean, she did perform at Nelson Mandela's 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela. She did do a few corporate gigs here and there, but nothing to the scale or the stuff that I'm doing now.
What makes Thiart totally unique as a drag artist is the fact that he sings so beautifully, that he is a professional singer with an exceptional voice, and that he sings live. A lot of South African drag artists lip sync to other people's music. So he's creative in that sense as well.
I can't believe you let me down, but the proof's the way that it hurts.
In the beginning, Shanae started out as a work, different avenue for Thiart to work as well, but she literally took on a life of her own. And I sort of, Thiart is one of my closest friends, and when I speak to Thiart and when I speak to Shanae, I literally speak to 2 different personalities. Not as if Thiart has multiple personality disorder, but he understands the distinction between the 2 characters, which makes it quite easy for him. But I can very quickly see who I am speaking to, apart from the wig and the glitter. I know who I'm speaking to, and Thiart has controlled those 2 identities very cleverly, and it's something that you can only learn when you study 8 years of psychology. He's literally controlled the two personalities and kept them completely apart.
His vocal abilities, together with his professional acting training, has afforded him the opportunity to be a multi-skilled performer.
I think there's a great future for Shanae because, again, having worked all over the world, South Africa needs to get with it in terms of the fact that drag performers cannot only be reinterpreters. They cannot just strut on a stage wearing dresses and lip sync, sometimes well and sometimes badly, to other people's music. They need to be creative. Shanae is the only drag artist in South Africa that I know of and I'm quite well aware of what's going on, who creates original music, who sings herself, who can dance, who's a trained singer, actor, dancer.
And after the break, Thiart takes us through the preparation of being Sinead O'Brien. Stick around for that. Welcome back to the last leg of our show. As we head towards the end of our program, we thought we should allow Thiart Lee to take us through the work behind the glamorous singing sensation Sinead O'Brien. Here is how Sinead manages to keep up with her stylish appearances. For the past 3 years, Thiart Lee has dedicated his career to breaking down the barriers in the gay, lesbian, bisexual and intersex community. We caught up with his talent management team to hear about his future plans.
We saw the potential in representing someone that is different in the industry, and we realized that there was definitely a market for it.
And yeah, I mean, I think having the two profiles has definitely benefited both. And Thiart has been always very much that there are two different people, and that's pretty much how we've gone forward with things, and I think it's worked in their favor.
Yeah, giving them each their own profile. Even on the website you can see that there's two different biographies and everything.
And it's really been awesome watching Thiart climb the stepping stone and climb the ladder.
And grow.
He's got a lot of awesome things coming up ahead, and I think that it's only upwards from here. You know, he understands that you've got to keep working to make sure that you stay steady. But yeah, I think that one day he will definitely be a name that is solid in the industry.
On this day, I caught up with Thiart at his home. He took me through the preparations that goes behind being his alter ego, Sinead O'Brien.
I'm in between.
Okay,
I'm
so
in
you're
between. I'm not
Thiart,
Thiart, but I'm not Sinead. So yeah, I'm Thiart at the moment. Oh, so good to see you. Come in.
Okay, so today I'm here to meet Sinead.
And Sinead is very excited to meet you as well.
I can see you in the process already.
I am in the process. I thought let me just save a little bit of time. So are you ready to meet the Queen?
I can't wait. I'm just going to wait outside while you get ready. I want you to dazzle me.
I will dazzle you to the floor.
Okay, go on, do your thing. I'll wait right here.
I'll see you just now.
Cool.
Ta-da! Welcome to the palace.
Sinead.
How are you?
Nice to meet
It's
you.
so lovely to meet you.
Oh my
Welcome
gosh.
to my boudoir.
Yes, I love this. What do you call this ensemble?
This is just plain down, slick, chic, honey. You know, just drop dead gorge.
Yeah, I love the color.
Thank
I love
you.
the hair. You always have blonde hair on.
I love blonde. I think blonde is like my statement. It's like my go-to. But I do love experimenting. So I do love doing my pink hair, my red hair, my grey now and again. But blonde is just like my all-time favorite.
So what are we doing today?
Today we're going for a fitting at Hollywood Costumes for my dresses that are being made for the Naledi Awards, which I'm super excited about. And then also I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes to one of my rehearsals for my next show.
Okay, let's go.
Shall we go? Hallo. Gaan dit lekker en jy?
Goed, dankie.
I'm so excited.
Adali.
Hallo.
Hoi, hallo.
Mwah. Gaan dit goed? Lekker? Lekker. Ek is so excited. Kan nie wag om dit te sien nie.
Kom maar wys vir jou.
Oh, fijn. Love die kleur.
Oeps, so nice.
And I think it just creates a little bit of a waist.
Yes.
And then, yeah, like you said, I think we can definitely do like, you know, like a little bit of a... Girl.
After the fittings, Sinead took me to a local nightclub where she was rehearsing for her upcoming show.
My rule of thumb is always respect and accept. I don't necessarily require for you to accept the lifestyle that I'm living, and I'm not going to force my lifestyle on you, but you need to respect me as a person, because there's a reason I'm walking this journey that I'm doing. If you think that you can do it better, try walking a day in my shoes.
We certainly hope this episode brings about the change that Thiart is hoping for. From me and the rest of the team, we end our work here for this week. We will be back for more, same time, same place.